Well, shortly after taking office, President Trump suspended the nation's refugee resettlement program as part of the administration's wide-ranging crackdown on immigration. That has left tens of thousands of refugees in limbo, including Afghans fleeing the Taliban. Joining us now, NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. Yamiche, I know you've been looking into this. You spoke with two Afghan brothers who are being directly impacted by this order. What did they tell you?
That's right. I traveled to Nashville, Tennessee to talk to two Afghan brothers who are praying that the U.S. and its officials will eventually repay the help they gave the U.S. military by allowing the older brother's family to come to the United States. Here's that story.
My family, my kids, they don't have future over there.
It's been 3.5 years since Mir Mohammed Asif Ansari last hugged his wife and 7 children. He, along with his brother, Mir Nasratullah Ansari, frantically left Afghanistan in 2021, fleeing just as the Taliban took full control of the country. The army was saying, you have to leave now.
Yes, we didn't have any choice. That was the decision. It says, if you want to leave, you can leave now, I can help you out. If you want to stay, I don't know.
No guarantee.
No guarantee.
The two brothers say they worked for years on U.S. military bases selling supplies and later helped as translators at a Kabul airport gate during the chaotic U.S. withdrawal. The brothers worried they and their family would be in danger and targeted by the Taliban if they stayed. Now Asif is worried he may never be able to bring his family to join him in Nashville, Tennessee. How hard is it to not have your family here?
I think that feeling is really difficult to explain, because if you have a family, you know that feeling.
On the first day of his second term, President Trump signed an executive order that led to the suspension of the nation's refugee resettlement program. The White House didn't respond to our request for comment. The order was challenged in court, but now an appeals court says the suspension can take effect on new requests, potentially leaving tens of thousands of Afghans who help the U.S. and their families at risk, including Asif's family. Some are due to receive special immigrant visas, or SIVs, for their work for the U.S., though the brothers applied for asylum, hoping for a faster process. Tell me about the situation in Afghanistan for your daughters and for your wife.
They have to stay at home. They don't have rights, no education.
A feeling this former Afghan soldier who worked alongside U.S. troops says he knows all too well.
It's very hard to live. I cannot work. I cannot freely walk outside.
We're not showing his face and not using his full name because he says he's afraid and living in hiding with his wife and 2 children. We spoke to him via a translator.
Some of people being tortured by the Taliban, put in the prisons, and some of them being killed.
What would you want to say to President Trump if you could speak with him directly?
I will tell him that he should not forget about those Afghan allies, that they work and fight shoulder with shoulder with American soldiers.
Rob Uberty, a retired Navy SEAL who worked with him, wants to see the U.S. do more.
They're the right people to help, and they were kind of brothers in arms. The people that I work with that I truly trust, it's just a handful of them, and he's one of them, and I think that we should help them.
In December, right before President Trump took office, Nasrat was finally able to bring his wife and 3 children to the U.S.
I'm so glad, I'm so happy that I have my family, but I'm sad because of my brother, because of all Afghans that they work with U.S. Army, help them out. They are alone with their family, and they don't have anyone to help them to bring their family.
Now his brother is also praying he too will have his own reunion.
I feel depressed, yes, I feel, but I'm fighting with it. I'm just fighting because of those kids that I left behind.
Yamiche, what does the path to the U.S. now look like for this family and for so many other families?
Well, according to the nonprofit Afghan EVAC, around 10,000 Afghan families are still separated since the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. But there isn't much Asif or others can really do but pray and hope for the best. It's a really, really tough situation, especially for his wife and children who are essentially living like they are in jail, he said, because they are terrified of the Taliban and their very restrictive rules for women who aren't even allowed to speak in public or attend most schools. Kate?
All right, Yamiche Alcindor, very important reporting. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.